kindergartners. Grab a blanket and get cozy because today we are going to be reading a story. Today we are going to read Pirate Nell's Tale to Tell. This story is written by Helen Doherty and Thomas Doherty. When I read the story, I would like you to pay close attention to the setting, or where the story takes place, the characters or the people in the story, and the main ideas, key details, or major events, which are the big things that happen in the story. So let's begin. The day Nell joined the pirate crew was full of hope, a dream come true. For great adventures filled her head from every tale she'd ever read. So let's review. Who was the first character that we met in the story so far? If you recall, the first character we've met in the story was Nell. What does Nell seem like so far in the story? I think that Nell seems very nice and that she is ready for a good adventure. Nell wondered what she ought to pack. Of course, her pirate's almanac. It taught her all she needed to know, from how to steer to how to row, which way was east and which was west. But Captain Nash was not impressed. An almanac, he curled his lips. No time for reading on this ship. So who is the next character that we've met in the story so far? If you pay attention to the story, you can see Captain Nash. What do you think Captain Nash is like in this story so far? I think that Nash is not being very nice to Nell because he's telling her that she can't read on the ship and that she needs to go do her chores. The other pirates warmed to Nell. They'd love the stories she would tell of buried chests and treasure maps, ferocious storms and thunderclaps, of daring rescues out to sea. But sadly, in reality, Nell's days were filled with chores, like scrubbing pots and mopping floors, while Captain Nash snapped and sneered, "You've missed some bird poop over here." What would the setting in the story be? Remember, the setting is where the story takes place. I think that the setting of this story would be on a pirate ship, and I would use evidence, which are details from a story, to support this. So I can use some evidence, which would be a picture in the story. I can see that they're on the pirate ship. Or, if you remember before in the book, it said that she was with her pirate crew. One night, Nell found it hard to sleep. She gazed into the ocean deep, then closed her eyes and made a wish. Once she saw a school of fish, all dancing, leaping, filled with light, guiding something through the night. Nell gasped. "Is that for me?" she cried. A bottle with a map inside, an island shaped like this, but where? A secret treasure buried there. Adventure lay ahead, it seemed, and through the starry night Nell dreamed. So what is a major detail or a key detail that has happened in the story now? Nell found a bottle that had a map inside of it, and she was going to try to find some treasure. But when she woke at the break of day, Nell's dreams were cruelly snatched away. Her map was gone, and in its place, she saw the captain's puzzled face. "What's this?" he ordered with a frown. "I think," said Nell, "it's upside down." "Don't tell me how to read the map, you good-for-nothing whippersnap. There's treasure here that's plain to see, and don't forget, it's all for me." So what can we think about Captain Nash now? I think that he's not very nice to Nell because of the things that he said to her. They sailed due east. The sky was red. Nell warned there might be storms ahead, but Captain Nash's greedy eyes were firmly focused on the prize. The clouds grew dark, the waves rose high, a sheet of lightning lit the sky. Then Captain Nash, who clutched the map, was startled by a thunderclap. He lost his balance, slipped and fell head first into the stormy swell. Nell grabbed a float, then with a splash, she dived into after Captain Nash. The waves were wild, the current strong. Nell knew she didn't have long. With luck, she studied what to do. In Saving Lives, page 42. No sooner had she hauled him out, Nell heard the other pirates shout, "Oh no!" The ship headed towards a line of rocks like jagged swords. Nell seized the wheel and deftly steered. All the other pirates cheered. So what are some other major events or key details that have happened now in the story? If you pay attention to what has happened in the story, Nell found her pirate map, her treasure map, and then Nash took it from her. But he didn't know how to read the story, or the treasure map. So then he got lost when he was trying to find it, and he fell overboard. And then Nell saved him because she knew how to read books. So then she grabbed the steering wheel and she began to steer the ship. She led them safely through the storm. The sea grew calm, the air grew warm. The treasure map was barely dry when the distant caught Nell's eye. Some craggy cliffs and a sandy shore, the island they'd been searching for. So the setting sometimes in the story can change. And we would say that the setting now would be that they're on a... If you said island, you would be correct. With map in hand, Nell led the way to where the buried treasure lay. The pirates dug beneath the ground, not one, but 20 chests found. What treasures lay inside unclaimed? Well, bless my bootstrap, Nell exclaimed. The crew exchanged bewildered looks. So where's the treasure? These are books. So now what's the major event that happened in the story? They were expecting to find a different kind of treasure, maybe gold or jewels, but instead they found treasure chests that were full of books. Nell told them what she'd known for ages. There's treasure right here in these pages. These books are like a magic key to other worlds beyond the sea. They'll whiz you off to places new. They'll make you gasp and giggle too. They'll teach you things you never knew. She's right, you know, the captain said. Without Nell's books, we might be dead. I'll teach you all to read, Nell said. Then you can read these books as well. And being Nell, she kept her word. She even opened, so I've heard, a library floating on the sea that lends books all out to all for free. And Captain Nash, he changed his ways, and now he likes to spend his days devoting stories back to back or studying Nell's almanac. So let's review the story. First, we learned about the characters in the story, and what were the two main characters? Can you remember? Remember in the story that there was Nell and that there was Captain Nash. What was the first setting that we encountered in the story? The first setting in the story was the pirate ship, and we remember this because she talked about being with her pirate crew and we saw it in the pictures. And what was the next setting that they came to? If you remember correctly, the next setting they came to was the sandy beaches and the island. So what were some key details or major events in this story? Remember that Nell went on the pirate ship and she was ready for an adventure. That the captain didn't want her to read. Then what happened next? Do you remember? Nell found a bottle with a treasure map inside. Then Captain Nash took the treasure map from her. And do you remember what happened after that? He fell overboard because he didn't know how to read the map. Nell steered the boat safely to the island. And then do you remember what happens after this? They found the treasure, and what was it? It was books. So these parts of the story that we looked at today, the setting where the book takes place, the characters, who the people are, and the major events or the big things that happen in the story are part of what's called the text structure. And the text structure is something that helps us understand the book, and it gives us an order to it, and then later it can help us retell the story. Thank you, kindergartners. Have a great night.